I know each one of you have at least one teacher you'll never forget. I myself, I have one teacher I won't forget. Her sign name was an eye to the sign of the cheek. She was from Texas. She went to a school for the deaf in Texas. And me being a kid, you know, she was kind of short too. And I just knew for sure she's a midget. Her hair was long and curly, pretty, and she wore it up in a nice bun at the top, kind of high, kind of tried to make her look a little bit taller. And up under her desk, I know for sure she had like a special stool that she would sit her feet on, because without it, her feet would dangle like a kid swinging on a swing or something. And on the chalkboard, she would use that stool to stand on, but um, without it, she would be short, not able to really reach it. And so I would sit at my desk and I would watch her, and she would write on the board. And she was really skilled. She used a long stick with chalk at the end of it, but none of us was able to touch it. We were banned from using it. She was the only one that could use it. And yeah, she was really interesting. Um, in the morning, every morning before class, she would typically, you know, write down the lesson and pull down the shade so we weren't able to see it. And so when class was ready to begin, she would let the shade up, and she'll go word for word for word and study and teach it to each of us and say, "You understand? You understand?" I just sit there like, "No, I don't understand." And she was like, "Well, this means blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Sometimes I would see what she meant, and she used an ASL, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. No wonder. I think her parents are deaf." And so when she would explain things in English, she would typically take turns, and each one of us would use the eraser. Oh no, we would use the eraser to erase the board, but we weren't able to do that because we had to use a wet rag. The dust from the board would give her severe migraine headaches, and she would warn us and pick on us to take turns to go up to the board and clean it. And when she would have headaches, she would have us squeeze her head, and it would kind of help to release the pain. She would say, "Oh, thank you." So one time I did, and I had to help her relieve the pain, and I was okay. And I sat back down, and then another time, this one special student was very skilled at doing it. I guess he used his two fingers to massage her temples. Like none of the rest of us couldn't do that. So one day when she left the classroom, I took it upon myself to go and mimic her, you know, and sit in front of the desk and make fun of her and things like that. And then before she would come back, somebody would watch out at the door, because she would come back. I would sit and sit back down before she could catch me. But this one particular time, she knew that I was mocking her. I said, "How did you know?" And she said, "You just make so much noise." And she was a very skilled teacher. I loved her, and that's just one teacher I will never forget.